What is up, guys? So, if you're like me and you've been watching a bunch of fitness videos for the last several years, you probably have seen the, self-discipline, got to be a tough guy, lift weights, be the guy who's better than everybody else type motivation. And I just know that my feed has been flooded with a lot of that stuff. And I think that there is some truth in the validity of obviously discipline and consistency. That stuff's necessary to achieve your goals. But I think that where a lot of people fail to connect the dots is that the reason why self-discipline, the reason why consistency, the reason why getting into good shape or just being a better person in general is inherently a good thing is because you're trying to, it's a worthwhile pursuit of making yourself a better person so that you can serve the world around you more effectively. And I think that part of the message gets left out because it's just kind of a cool thing to be the tough guy who, is jacked and looks better than everybody. And that's cool, but it's all perishing, if that makes sense. It's all vanity. It doesn't really serve a purpose. And there is a lack of fulfillment. You get to the end of that road, right? Like you can get jacked and get shredded and look awesome. And you get to the end of that and you achieve that look. And I think a lot of times for guys, you get there and you're like, damn, I still feel kind of shitty, and I think that that's because there's a lack of intrinsic meaning in that. Again, it's just vanity. So I think to me, there's a maturation. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't even know if that's a word, but there's a maturity that you reach where you realize that the reason why you want to better yourself, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally, is because you actually want to be a more effective service leader. You want to be a more effective tool of goodness in the world, if that makes any sense. But I want to spread that message a little bit more because I don't think that it really gets spread at all. I think that message is actually very scarce right now. I think that a lot of what's popular in the fitness community at the moment is vanity for good reason. It's cool to look sick. I'm not saying that it's not. I like looking sick. I'm not oblivious to that, but I think for a lot of young men, they're going to burn out on that message because you put in, it's hard. It's hard to better yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and break old habits and get into new, healthier ones. And if the only reason you have to completely change your life is because you want, to pursue vanity, it's hollow and meaningless. And I actually feel like it's not sustainable. There's going to be a point where you're going to do stuff that's hard and you're going to be like, dude, what is this for? Because I want to look cool, because I want to fill this, narcissistic need inside of myself. And that's not going to work. Like that's not going to sustain you in the long run. So in my opinion, I think that really what matters is self-love, and not only self-love, but love for the world around you. And God, I sound like a freaking, a hippie right now. Maybe I should go write a poem or something about it, but whatever, dude. I think it's true. And I feel like this is something that I've actually realized recently because I got to that point where I was getting lean, looking good. I was just damn, this still feels kind of hollow, cool. I got abs, whatever, dude, but what I realized is okay, if I can combine that physical excellence with spiritual excellence and then with mental excellence and just culminate that into being just a generally good person for the world around me, serving other people, being a more effective person because of my pursuit of excellence. To me, that is a way more fulfilling message than just telling guys to go out there and just get shredded because you want to look sick, which again, I'm not saying that that's inherently a bad thing, but I'm saying that I think that there's something deeper. And if we don't talk about what actually is lies a little bit deeper, being a good person, then I think we're doing a disservice to the entire community. So I think that the key to physical excellence, which is what my channel is mainly about, getting into good shape, getting jacked, getting lean, all that fun stuff. But also, spiritual and emotional excellence, it all comes down to love for yourself and love for the world around you. That is actually what I believe we should be reaching for, is making ourselves the most effective people that we can be so that we can be in service of love and truth, if that makes sense. And part of that means that, you recognize that your body is valuable, so you need to take care of it. So you should get into good shape. You should work out. You should do hard stuff. You should build your muscles. You should get lean. You should be healthy. But the same thing is true of our mental health, right? We need to treat ourselves like athletes all around, physically, mentally, spiritually. It can't just be one-sided, right? It can't just be like you look sick and your body's great, but then your mental health is unhealthy. It's like we need to make sure that this is a holistic approach that we're working on here. So I think that, again, the key to getting into good shape and just being an overall better person is self-love. I think that's what it is. It's self-love, and it's love for people around you and the world around you so that you can more effectively serve everybody else. So this was a thought that I just had. I didn't really script this video. I'm not going to edit it or anything, but I don't know. Does that make sense? And do you feel like that's talked about? Maybe when I was saying this stuff, you guys are like, duh, everyone knows that, but maybe this resonated with you a little bit. But anyways, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. And love yourself and love the world around you. Peace.